Peace in folks, how you doing? Use the force. Positive mental attitude. We're always trying, aren't we? So delete the drama, you know. So what spurred me on to make this video was a few interactions I had, or a run of interactions I had on Facebook this morning, and then picking up that lighter, because it was rather amusing. Because, you know, I am quite happy to have conversations with people with differing opinions, using information to show our side, right? And I'm cool with that. And I'm cool with being wrong. I'm cool with someone showing me something that makes me go, oh, right, okay. You know, but quite often I find that people very quickly just get to insulting you for having an opposing view, as opposed to interacting with you to talk about the views, to see what's what, right? You know, perspective is key, as my mum would have always said. So, you know, delete the drama. Delete the drama. And such a simple thing, right? Such a simple thing. Such a simple little, not even a sentence, is it? What is it? A statement? And I guess part of what I would encourage is what I did, right? Obviously. Not because I think I'm like right, it's just that I can only base what I say on what I've done and what I know and what I think and what I've experienced and what I've learned, right? I can't speak, I don't like to speak unless I've like gained experience in some way, shape or form on what I'm talking about. So I've spent a lot of time working on myself over the years, and I'm more than happy to talk about that stuff, and what it's led to and what it leads to, you know, because the more self-awareness you gain, right, the more you can grow. And I'm just like, who doesn't want to do that? You know, I don't think I have a progressive outlook, maybe slightly. Right, I've probably got a progressive outlook, but in a healthy sense of like, I don't believe in utopia. I just wrote a new song. You'll be able to hear it soon because I'm going to put it up. I've just done a master on it, and I'll be honest with you, I think it sounds pretty fucking sick. But in it, I said I'm writing this whole piece. The whole middle verse is basically a vision of the future, right? And not a tragic one, right? But at the end of it, and I say we couldn't eradicate, but we limited evil. Right? Because you can't, like, from what I've learned scientifically, right, you know, about the universe, is that oh, now the thought's just gone through my mind that we're all made of star stuff, and I can't, my mind wouldn't move away from it. I was getting lost in what I was saying. But from what I've learned about the universe is that balance, right? I've got this, let's just give this a little twist around so you can, right, that's the tattoo on my arm. It's the alchemic signs for, what is it, fire, air, water and earth. And then on the end, I've got this little one made up by a mate of mine, heart with a Superman thing inside of it, because I love Superman. But then it's got shading that represents balance, right? Because balance. Like, life is all about balance, right? The makeup of the universe is about balance. Like, to have one, you've got to have two, sort of thing, or the two come to one. It's like, and it just seems to me like it's experience and creation, and like, that's not to not take it seriously, but life is about balance, and I take that into everything I do. Hence why I can go off the deep end about deleting the drama. But so how did I work to reducing drama, right? You can't eradicate but limit evil, right? So you can't eradicate anything that's negative, but you can actually limit the impact, right? And we all know these things, but you know, some of us haven't done work on ourselves and some of us have, and you know, I just want to share. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was just about looking at myself, right? I just looked at myself, honestly. Where was I being argumentative? And did I need to do that? Like, we get into these really easy, quick autopilots that, like, aren't that healthy. And we can break that, like, autopilot, like, cycle, you know, by just becoming more aware of little things that you want to change. And then instantly, the way your mind is working just starts getting a bit more aware, a bit more quicker, a bit more like you're more focused onto things, and focus can come easier as well, you know. But how to, you know, reduce the drama is to work on ourselves, is to go, well, you know, where am I being too hard on myself? You know, it's not to make excuses for yourself so you can be lazy, because I'm like, you know, I fight my lazy, right? Some people tell me I'm like super dedicated and motivated, which I am in some areas, but then there's other areas in my life where I have to push really hard to do that, like doing the push-ups every day. You know, sometimes I don't do it every day, right? And in fact, actually, I made a rule that I wouldn't do it 7 days a week anyway. It was like, I'll do it 6 days a week. But sometimes I break that and I do it 7. And I do it 14 on the trot. And then other weeks I do it every other day. But, you know, I try and find a healthy balance, right? It's not too much but enough, you know. And I take that into life. I take that into what I look into. I don't just blindly follow things and then start shouting about, you know, some things. And sometimes I do see some stuff and get all passionate. I want to like shout and scream about it and share with everyone because, you know, I've just learnt something and I want to see what other people think. Doesn't mean that I then think that's the way. It means, look, this is really interesting. I want to share it and I want to talk about it, right? Because I was raised around a dinner table that was based on like open conversation. And like, you know, my mum wasn't shy with the topics, you know. My stepdad was a, you know, intellectual guy, and my sisters were all on it, you know. So aunts and uncles, it was a lively table environment, and there was a lot of talking going on. So I'm versed in being able to disagree with people, you know. And I wasn't very good at it always. You know, I've had to get better at it, to be honest with you. Speaking out on social media, the amount of backlash you get from people, and people can be way ruder, but, you know, that's what it is, right? You know, that's just sort of like helped me to work on how I take drama and how I generate it. Because it's not just about what's around you, it is about what you're doing. You know, and your external environment counts, but the most important thing is that we take full responsibility for our own states, right? So stress, you know, it's a similar thing to drama. You know, I realised that driving was causing a lot of stress for me, the way I was driving, you know. And then what I actually subsequently realised from that first analysation, that I thought it was the driving, I then realised that actually the stronger driving tool that was causing me stress was the fact that I was rushing around everywhere being busy. I was either trying to appear busy, which I generally was fairly anyway, or I was just generally rushing about doing things, you know. And it was, you know, take it to the degree of like breaking it down into a smaller situation. I was in a rush to get to or from where I was going to work or what I had to do. And the amount of stress that causes when you're on the road, because other people aren't in a rush. Some people are, and that can cause stress. Some people aren't. And I started realising that there were all these like interactions of stress happening because I was being too keen to get to somewhere, get back from somewhere, because I've got this to do and that to do. And as soon as I started to pull back from that, and I started going, okay, I'm not driving on motorways, I'm using all the country roads and all the B roads and blah, 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 right? And as soon as I started going, okay, right, I am now driving whereby I'm at least keeping a 2-second gap, and I've always got enough room that most of the time, this is not like blanket ruling, I've got a lead foot, right? I like to drive fast. If the roads were a rally, if the roads were a rally course, I'd drive them like it, but they're not, so I don't. But sometimes in the right conditions, I might have a little bit of fun. But generally, when I'm driving down the road, I've got enough room that if someone wants to come out of a road, I can give them a flash, and I've only got to let off my accelerator and they'll be out. I'll hardly have to even slow down, and we all carry on. So it's being mindful, right? How do you delete the drama? How do you openly communicate with people when you disagree about really serious topics and don't get into slagging each other off? You be more mindful of yourself. Why am I arguing with someone? Is this serving me? Is this helping me? Is this generating to my greater growth? Right? Am I going to be better for this? Because more often than not, what you do that's better for you and them senses turns out to be better for other people in the same sorts of way. You know, so it's not about gaining growth financially and status and blah blah. It's just about dealing with situations better so that we can actually grow past this bullshit hierarchical structure that I obviously am not very keen on. I know shit ain't going to change quick. I'm not going to start trying to blow up any houses of this, or, you know, like Guy with a Fork did try. But he was a Christian extremist. I focus on balance. And one of the main reasons I do that is because of my views. I don't want to be an extremist. So I'm not interested in promoting anything that hurts people. Even the people that have created the problems we're in today, they need to be dealt with compassion. That much, granted, like, you know, you keep your freedom, you just lose your jobs, your positions, that's it. You know, there's nothing harsh about it. It's we need, you know, this don't work, and there's many ways to make things work. You know, it's just we've all got to be brave enough to find reasons. But I wasn't going to go into that so much because I was just talking about deleting drama. But it all connects, you know, to me. It all connects because it all comes back to the self and how we deal with things, how we deal with ourselves first. So that gaining self-awareness, it helps in all these things. I don't get pissed off with people that I'm interacting, rarely. It happens once in a blue moon. I got pissed off with someone about 3 months ago. I had a shit interaction. I learnt more from that because I studied what I did. I looked to grow so that I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't act in ways that I didn't want to, that weren't helping me to progress. You know, so I'm not out here with a bad message. I'm not out here to try and cause trouble, although part and parcel of what I'm saying is slightly troublesome for some people, but it's a small percentage of the population that it might be found troublesome by. What I promote, what I want for our future, for the humanity, for the earth, comes from a bloody good place, and I'm not, and it's not nuts. I'm, you know, I'm logical, emotional, not perfect, not looking to be a leader. You know, I believe we can create our own solutions, and we can unitedly, collectively create solutions to societal situations without the need for so much complex policy. And, you know, there was a word I wanted to use, like aristocracy, but that's not the one. Anyway, we're pretty much up on that time. So anyway, I wish you all well, whoever sees this. I'm going to say to you, use the force. Positive mental attitude. Be kind with your thoughts to yourselves and to others. Keep loving your hearts for yourselves and for others. And let's get it. Get watch on. Awareness, of course. Peace in. Oh look, and the clicker, and there the clicker doesn't work.